What's going on, YouTube? So I really wanted this video to come out on Friday, the 7th, because, well, Friday was the 2-year anniversary of my channel, and the 1-year anniversary since I uploaded my first challenge run. And I thought, what better way to celebrate than to revisit my first run and give Hitmonchan a proper ranking. Now, since I've started my channel, there have been a lot of Hitmonchan runs, so I'll just run over a few things. Hitmonchan sucks. If we look at its stats, its 105 attack is nice, but every other stat, including its abysmal 35 special, isn't great. And considering its level up moves, we only learned the elemental punches and mega punch, so really taking advantage of our base 35 special there. And as far as the TMs we can learn, yeah, body slam is nice, and submission's gonna be the only fighting move that we can learn that does like damage based on our attack. But other than that, nothing else really great. At the end of the Typhlosion video, I asked you to cast your vote in the comments on who do you think will come out on top in our next mini-series. Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, or Hitmontop. Personally, I think Hitmontop will come out on top, just because of its move pool in the Sanqui tool. It starts with a fighting move, but there's only one way to find out. We just gotta get into these runs. And with Hitmonchan, I'm going to fight every bug catcher in Viridian Forest. And I'm going to fight Rival 1A, because I know I'm gonna need all the money, and I mean all of it, along with all the experience. In my very first video, I didn't even get past the Pidgey, but this time, it's time for some redemption. I get some good luck with Comet Punch, and we're able to take it out and I don't get hit with Sand Attack. Comet Punch also has some great luck with Bulbasaur. It goes for Leech Seed, and yeah, 2 3-hit combos in a row, we take it out rather quickly. And with extra money in hand, we can now purchase potions from Pewter City, and then go to Viridian Forest to drain all of our agility PP on Wild Metapod and Kakuna, and Struggle Train. Yes, we have to Struggle Train again. Didn't think I'd be doing this so soon after Raichu. And with only a normal move to start, this really sucks considering Brock is a Rock-type gym leader. Thankfully, the Junior Light Years trainer in his gym does not use Rock Pokemon. Diglett, we get lucky with Comet Punch, and we get at least a 4-turn Comet Punch. Sandshrew, however, is a lot more defensive than Diglett, and it does hit me with a Sand Attack, and now those Sand Attacks are starting to add up, but we get through. I decide to go back to the forest and train, and I'm actually going to try Brock at level 15, almost an hour and 30 minutes into the run, because I really don't want this to be another Sneasel or Raichu Brock split. And yeah, this fight does not go well. I rewatched J-Rose's video to see what level he had gotten by, and it was level 15, but I did not have the same luck as he did. I would miss consistently against Geodude with Comet Punch, and there were many times I got off 6 defense curls in the fight, to the point where I would run out of Comet Punches, and by the time where I would get to Onix, I would have so little HP remaining that I would just reset. And in this battle, you can see Geodude just keeps building its defense up. Comet Punch is doing 1 damage, if that, and I've also missed quite a bit. I am not having the same luck as Mr. J-Rose did. And yeah, this run was very miserable in the beginning. And to be honest, the run as a whole, I thought it was going to go a lot better, but it unfortunately didn't live up to expectations. I thought Hitmonchan would get between a 5 and 6 hour time, but you'll just have to see the end of the run to see what time we did clock in at. I was able to consistently get by Geodude, like in this battle, but once Onix comes out, I have 10 HP remaining, and I decide, why bother even trying? I'm just gonna go ahead and reset. And I try again 1 level later, and there really isn't much to narrate about this battle or even talk about. It's pretty much the same as the first battle. Geodude can either attack me, or it can raise its defense. And in this battle, it attacks me quite a bit, and then just starts spamming Defense Curl. And I decide, you know what, I'm just gonna level up one more time and come back. And I try Brock again at level 17. And Now I'm starting to get some good luck. At this point in the run, I'm almost 2 hours into it, and I just want to get by Brock at a decent split, which is out of the question at this point. But I managed to get by Geodude with 30 HP. And now I have plenty of HP for Onix. Hopefully it doesn't go for Bide too much, but in Gen 1, Bide mimics the damage from your from the very first attack, I believe, on a multi-turn attack like Comet Punch. But we just need to outlast Onix, we're using Struggle, and we get by. Finally. And we can see that after we beat Brock, we are at a time of 2 hours and 33 minutes. Pretty terrible. But the little bit of saving grace is that in Mount Moon, we have access to TM01 Mega Punch, and exiting Mount Moon, we're at 2 hours 54 minutes. So that dream of maybe a 5-6 hour run, or between that, probably dead at this point. And now we have to decide, are we going to take on Rival 2 or Misty? And well, I pick foolishly. I chose Misty. I thought with Mega Punch on our arsenal now, we would be able to get by her pretty well with some luck. We are able to one-shot the Staryu, but Starmie crits its tackle, and then it just goes for Bubble Beam and knocks me out. So I guess I might as well try my luck with Rival 2, and yeah, this battle goes way better. Mega Punch one-shots all of his Pokemon. And on the way to Bill's house, I make sure to pick up TM19's Seismic Toss. With all the extra levels, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try Misty again, because we should be able to get by her this time. And the battle starts in the best possible way. I start out by missing my first Mega Punch, and Staryu crits with Water Gun. Thankfully, the next Mega Punch hits, and we knock it out. Alright, Starmie's coming out, don't use any water moves. It uses Tackle, doesn't get a crit. Mega Punch does over half, and Tackle, it crits there, but it didn't do much. We knock it out, we win. And there were times in the beginning of this run where I really wanted to just reset the whole thing to see if I could get a better time, but I decided, let's just keep it going. We're gonna head to the SSN now, where we can pick up TM08 Body Slam. There are a lot of extra trainers in the SSN as well, but the only additional trainer we're gonna take on is the gentleman who guards the rare candy, but we're gonna take him on our way out. Instead, we're gonna take on Rival 3, and it's a clean sweep with Body Slam. Except for Ivysaur. Ivysaur tanks one, but we get a retroactive potion and then knock it out. We can now pick up the Cut HM from the captain, and then take on Lieutenant Surge, and I'll mention a funny little theme after this Surge battle. But it starts out the way you'd think it would. Voltorb and Pikachu go down to a Body Slam, but the question is, are we going to be able to take out Raichu with a Body Slam? And the answer is no. Raichu hangs on from a Body Slam, goes for Thunder Shock, gets a massive crit, we get a 1 in 256 glitch, and then it outspeeds and hits us with Thunderbolt. So the second battle starts the same way. We knock out both Voltorb and Pikachu in one Body Slam, but the thing I was going to mention is that we've lost to each gym leader at least once so far. Don't remember the last time that's happened. We get lucky this time and crit Raichu for the one-shot. But we've got the self-destructing Hiker and Rock Tunnel, who is a real pain. And I believe I had Ice Punch on my moveset in the very first run I did. I'd have to go back and check. I try not to watch that run too much because it's pretty brutal for me to watch. But it really sucks that Hitmonchan does not learn any fighting moves by level up, with the exception of Counter, but for Gen 1 purposes, that only works if you're hit by a fighting move or normal type attack, and just deals back double the damage. And in this first battle, I get blown up on. I got poisoned by the last with the Oddish and Bulbasaur beforehand, so another time waster. I skip rope out so I can get fully healed up and try again, and I get blown up on right away. And I'm just really hoping for a lucky Paralyze with Body Slam, or Geodudes to just use Defense Curl and I get a lucky crit, but once again, they just keep blowing up on me, and at this point in the run, I'm starting to get real frustrated. I have 9 HP left, and Graveler's cooperating. We finally get by the self-destructing Hiker. And exiting Rock Tunnel, we're gonna check our time here, and we're over the 4-hour mark. This run up to this point has been a huge disappointment. A lot with how I've played, but Hitmonchan has also been a disappointment. I thought it would be a lot better just seeing other runs on the platform, and I just haven't lived up to it with this mon. But that's also a good reason to try other fighting Pokemon later on. Anyway, we're going to make our way to Celadon City, where we're going to do some shopping. I'm going to pick up a few TM17 submissions, because it's the strongest fighting move Hitmonchan can learn. Afterwards, I'm going to skip Erica for now and make my way to the game corner to take on Giovanni. And another frustrating thing that happened is I actually had to use my freshwater before the Giovanni battle. So I'm going to have to go back and buy another one of those, another time loss, but it was so that we could use submission to one-hit KO all 3 of his Pokemon. This was a pretty good feeling. And I thought about taking on Erica after Giovanni, but I'm pretty sure Victory Bell would still one-shot us with Razor Leaf, so we're going to go ahead and skip her for now and try to get some extra levels in Pokemon Tower and against rival number 4. And this is going to be the last easy rival battle for Hitmonchan, so I really hope it can perform up to par in the future. Pidgeotto is the lead, and Body Slam is able to one-shot it. That's always nice. Gyarados is next. We don't one-shot it, but we paralyze it and it misses Hydro Pump. We knock it out. The following 3 Pokemon are all knocked out to Body Slam, so Rival 4, pretty easy. And I'm going to show you the first battle here against the first mandatory channeler. Pokemon Tower was frustrating. I'm holding off from teaching Seismic Toss on my moveset because I'm trying to save it for the right moment. But you see how little Fire Punch does to a Ghastly that's 13 levels lower. That goes to show you a Pokemon with 100 base special like Ghastly, and a Pokemon with 35 base special like Hitmonchan goes. And the Ghastlys are very trolly because they can confuse you, and when you hit yourself, you do a lot. And Nightshade, fixed damage attack, and yeah, I lose this battle, and I had to save before every channeler battle. It sucked. Anyway, we finally do get through. Once I complete Pokemon Tower, I'm gonna try my hand against Erica. Body Slam almost knocks out Victory Bell. It puts me to sleep and then goes for Wrap, but then it's fully paralyzed, which stops its Wrap, but then it just lets off a critical Razor Leaf. It then goes for Wrap again, fully paralyzed, and Razor Leaf knocks me out. So yeah, we've lost to every gym leader at least once in this run. I try again and Body Slam does the same damage. It misses Wrap thankfully and we knock it out. Tangela is next. Body Slam, that does well over half, and it missed Bind, so hey, 2 down. Vileplume's last, and while it does get off a critical Mega Drain, it doesn't recover enough to withstand another Body Slam. So now, we can make our way to Cycling Road, head south to Fuchsia City, to take on the Ninja Master himself, Koga. And normally I would head to Sylph now, but for some reason I thought Koga would be the play, and, well, you can tell by the tone of my voice, it's not. While we do paralyze Coughing number 1, and knock it out without it dealing damage to us, I try to set up against Muck, it disables Ice Punch, that's fine, but now it starts to go for Minimize. And while I do crit my first Body Slam, its Sludge poisons me. And I miss, it goes for Minimize, miss, Sludge, and yeah, I think you see where this is going. We lose. We've lost to every gym leader so far. This run, you see why I've been pretty disappointed by it so far. I try again and try setting up against Coughing number 1, but get poisoned immediately by Smog. It then uses Sludge, does decent damage, we knock it out with our second Body Slam. I go for Body Slam on Muck, we crit, do over half its health, Fire Punch gets disabled, our second Body Slam can't knock it out and it goes for Minimize, but thankfully, we hit and knock it out. Coughing number 2 comes out, we won't knock it out in one hit. We come close with a crit, Koga goes for an X attack and Ice Punch knocks it out. Last is Wheezing and we need to status it, we don't. It goes for Sludge, and 13 HP left. Yeah, we're gonna lose this one as well. So, with 2 losses to Koga, let's pivot to Silphco. Maybe we can have some easier luck with Rival Fivel. And there are some optional trainers here, along with a rare candy we can get on the 10th floor before battling Rival Fivel, and just some spoilers. I did battle him a few times and lost, so we can add him to the list. Body Slam crits and one-shots Pidgeot, so 1 down. Body Slam on the Gyarados, we do half and paralyze it. It hits Hydro Pump, which does huge damage as you see there. Huge problem with base 35 special. We knock it out though, and out comes Growlithe, who's one-shot by a critical Body Slam. Alakazam is next. Thankfully we outspeed it, and it's frail and goes down in 1 Body Slam. Last is Venusaur, and please don't use Razor Leaf. Body Slam, crit, almost knocks it out. It goes for Poison Powder, and we win. And this was probably my 4th attempt battling Rival Fivel, so I was pretty happy here. And next we're going to take on Giovanni. And I really should have healed before this battle. We have 27 HP from the Rocket prior. We paralyze Nidorino and knock it out with 2 Body Slams. Kangaskhan is next. Body Slam doesn't knock it out, and Bite brings me to 7 HP. Thankfully our next Body Slam knocks it out, and Rhyhorn is one-shot with Ice Punch. But only 9 HP for Nidoqueen? Yeah, Body Slam, we don't do a lot, and its own Body Slam knocks me out. So while this next Giovanni attempt in the background is playing, I want to talk about something. Let's talk about the trainers I've lost to multiple times. Brock, Misty, Surge, the self-destructing Hiker, Erica, Rival Fivel, Koga, and Giovanni here itself. That's 8 mandatory trainers that have beaten me multiple times. I think that's a first. Definitely a first losing to each gym leader. Thankfully, this Giovanni attempt goes very well. You see that we knocked out the first 2 Pokemon, and it's no different with Rhyhorn getting knocked out in 1 Ice Punch. And we have plenty of HP for Nidoqueen now. Body Slam, crit does over half, that's nice. It goes for Tail Whip, so yeah, our next Body Slam knocks it out. And while we're in Saffron, we might as well try our hands with Sabrina, but is she gonna continue the trend of losing to mandatory trainers multiple times? Well, probably, because we're a fighting type and she's a psychic gym leader. Body Slam one-shots Kadabra, thank God, because if it would have gone for psychic, that's a loss. Body Slam also one-shots Mr. Mime, it has frail defense as well. Venomoth, who's probably her bulkiest Pokemon, withstands a Body Slam and gets off a massive Psybeam that brings me to 8 HP. So now we have Alakazam left, and it goes for Reflect, it outspeeds me, Body Slam doesn't do a lot, and Psywave knocks me out. So yep, the trend continues. And I try again with the intent on setting up against Mr. Mime, but his Confusion does massive damage, and we just lose to another Psybeam by Venomoth. So I decide to do some training in Saffron at the Fighting Dojo, and after leveling up some, I'm gonna try Koga again. I want his badge because I want to be able to surf outside of battle, because I have a plan. So we're 11 levels higher than Coughing number 1 now, and Body Slam still can't one-shot it. Thankfully it just gets off a weak tackle and we knock it out. Body Slam on the Muck, does over half, it poisons with Poison Gas and we knock it out the next turn. We level up after the Muck, and Coughing number 2 comes out. We didn't one-shot Coughing number 1, so we don't one-shot this either. We do paralyze it though, but it gets through with a weak Sludge, and we knock it out the next turn. Wheezing is last. Body Slam does over half thanks to a crit, and we paralyze it. It's fully paralyzed, and we knock it out. So, with the Soul Badge in hand, we can now use Surf outside of battle, and go south of Pallet to Cinnabar Island, make our way through the Pokemon Mansion, and then take on the Quizmaster himself, Blaine. And I really hope I don't lose this battle, but there is a realistic chance I do. Growlithe is first. Body Slam takes it out with a critical hit. Awesome. Next is Ponyta, and Body Slam doesn't knock it out. It goes for Growl. That's bad. My attack stat's my best stat, so Body Slam won't knock out Rapidash, and it goes for Growl also. Body Slam's doing even less to it now, so I just knock it out with an Ice Punch. And last is Arcanine. Body Slam does so little, so now I just try to go for a Freeze, and Fire Blast hits and knocks me out. So yeah, the losing trend continues. I level up on a few trainers in his gym and try again. Once again, Body Slam crits and one-shots Growlithe. Ponyta is next. We miss Body Slam with a 1 in 256 glitch, but hit our next one after it hit us with a Stomp. Rapidash is next. Body Slam doesn't knock it out, but Retroactive Super Potion, so we knock it out the next turn. And last is Arcanine. Body Slam does almost half. We paralyze it, it's fully paralyzed, takedown, and body slam, we win. And with Blaine's badge in hand now, we have a boost to our special, so let's try Sabrina one more time. And we know that her first two Pokemon will be one-shot body slam. Like, that's no surprise there. We outsped them both in the first battle, so we can just move on to Venomoth. The question is, at level 52, can we knock it out in one hit? No, it goes for Psybeam, does almost half, it doesn't crit this time. We make it to Alakazam, who we now outspeed and can one-shot with Body Slam. And now it's time to take on the so-called greatest trainer in the world, Giovanni. And if he beats me, I'm just done with this run. It's off to a good start because Ice Punch one-shots Rhyhorn. And I misclick here and hit the wrong buttons, trying not to learn counter, which is more in-game time wasted, so that's cool. I misclick on Dugtrio also and go for Ice Punch. I wanted to go for Body Slam, so I just go for Agility to set up some badge boost, and we knock it out on the next turn. Nidoqueen is next. Body Slam does half, we paralyze it. Poison Sting does 5 HP, and we knock it out. Nidoking is after. Body Slam does half to it also, but Guard Spec, and we knock it out. Last is Rhydon, and Ice Punch does about half. Ice Punch, it hangs on by a sliver. Stomp does 30 HP, and Ice Punch knocks it out. So, 55 HP left after the Giovanni battle. Very well could have lost. 6 hours 39 minutes before Rival 6. Yeah. Hitmonchan is probably going to finish with a 7-hour plus time, so this run is definitely well past the 5 hours 30 minutes I thought it would be. Anyway, to the battle. Pidgeot is the lead. I'm going to go for Body Slam, it does half. Pidgeot goes for Agility and then Wing Attack. Thankfully, Wing Attack does less than 30 HP and we knock it out. We level up afterwards, so we're free to set up on Rhyhorn without worry of losing our badge boost. I go for one Agility, it goes for Stomp, a second Agility, it goes for Stomp and crits, so let's just knock it out with Ice Punch. And next we're going to be moving on to Gyarados, and this could be a problem. I'm going to go for Body Slam, it does over half, we paralyze it, but it gets through with Hydro Pump and we lose. So before the next battle, I'm going to use all of my rare candies to bring myself to level 60. And I'm hoping I don't have to go and train to get past the rival. Body Slam does over half to Pidgeot and it hits me with a weak Wing Attack and we knock out on the next turn. Rhyhorn is next, so we're going to set up. Agility number 1, Horn Drill. Perfect. Agility number 2, Horn Drill. Agility number 3, Horn Drill. Awesome. With 3 agilities set up, we're going to knock it out with Ice Punch. And next is Gyarados, who I hope we can do decent damage to. Body Slam, one-shots it next to a crit. Awesome. Growlithe is next, and yeah, Body Slam's going to one-shot it. Growlithe is nothing until it becomes an Arcanine. Alakazam is next. We outspeed it thanks to all the agilities. Body Slam knocks it out. And now Venusaur's last. How much will Body Slam do to it, and how much would Razor Leaf do to us? Body Slam does over half, and it goes for Vine Whip and misses, so we knock it out. Easy battle. And saving in front of Lorelei's Chamber, 7 hours, 1 minute. This run definitely was not what I thought it would be. Almost 2 hours over the expected time I thought Hitmonchan would get, but let's see how it does against the League. So we know that Dugong is first, and it's just going to spam Rest because it's a Psychic type move. So I'm going to open with Thunder Punch. And that does decent damage, I guess, for base 35 special. While Dugong's asleep, I set up 2 agility, and now I'm hoping Body Slam will do a good amount of damage. It does over half, it's fully paralyzed, and we knock it out. Awesome. Cloyster's next, and Body Slam doesn't really do much thanks to its 180 base defense. Aurora Beam also doesn't do much, and Thunder Punch surprisingly knocks it out. Slowbro is next, and like Dugong, it knows a Psychic type move that doesn't damage us, but will only use it because of Lorelei's AI. So we Body Slam and paralyze it, it's still just spamming Amnesia and we knock it out thanks to a crit. We level also, so there goes all our badge boosts. Jinx is next, and it has paper thin defense. Body Slam knocks it out, crit didn't matter. But last we have Lapras, who's definitely going to be a challenge. I go for Body Slam, does about a quarter. It goes for Body Slam and crits. Great. I go for Body Slam, we paralyze it, and it's fully paralyzed, so our next Body Slam knocks it out. Perfect. And next up is Bruno, but I'll be real, there really isn't much to talk about with Bruno. I heal up before the battle, but Ice Punch takes care of the two Onixes. Body Slam takes care of both Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee. And Machamp, who's his strongest Pokemon, also goes down and do Body Slams. But let's fast forward to the real challenge, Agatha. I've put Mimic and Seismic Toss on my moveset for this battle, and this was the battle I was saving Seismic Toss for, in case you were wondering. Gengar number 1 comes out. I Mimic Hypnosis, and now what's it gonna use? Confuse Ray? Alright, this sucks. We're confused, we put it to sleep, she swaps into Golbat. I use my last Body Slam because I didn't heal my PP after, and she swaps back into Gengar number 1. Seismic Toss looks like it's a 3-hit KO, so I guess that's good. Even with the retroactive Super Potion, still a 3-hit KO. Awesome. Golbat comes back out, and Ice Punch can knock it out. Awesome. 2 down. So next is Haunter, and I really should have just gone for Seismic Toss right away. I keep trying to put it to sleep. It puts me to sleep, I wake up right away, and it hits me with Nightshade. So this isn't looking too good. I need to hit. We miss again, it misses, and I finally put to sleep, and Seismic Toss is a 2-hit KO, so I need to remember this for next time, as I mentioned before. Just go all offensive on Haunter. Arbok is next. Ice Punch, that's doing very little damage, and it's gonna try and paralyze me, and does. So this is bad, because now Gengar number 2 will definitely outspeed me. And she withdraws Arbok for Gengar number 2. Seismic Toss is also a 3-hit KO on it. It confuses me, I get through and hit it. She uses a Super Potion. I hit myself and do big damage there. It uses Dream Eater. I go for Seismic Toss. She withdraws back to Arbok. I'm no longer confused. Seismic Toss, she swaps again, and we KO the second Gengar, but Arbok outspeeds us. If it attacks us, we lose, and it does. And we do. And that was great. So it took me a couple tries to get back to Agatha. I had some losses to Lorelei, so throw her into the mandatory trainers that I also lost to. Anyway, the strategy's the same. I want to mimic Hypnosis, and then I want to use Hypnosis, which I do here, and then just go ahead and use Seismic Toss. Getting some good luck because I'm not hitting myself. Although the Gengar does wake up, it misses Nightshade, and we can knock it out with a disrespectful Ice Punch. So that's always nice. I remember to restore my PP before this battle, and we one-shot Golbat thanks to a critical hit. Always love to see that. Against Haunter, I just go for Seismic Toss right away. Since it is a 2-hit KO, it does manage to put me to sleep then hit me with Nightshade. Thankfully, I did wake up right away because getting hit with Dream Eater would have really sucked. It gets knocked out after a second Seismic Toss, and Body Slam hits and does big damage to Arbok. It doesn't use Glare, thankfully, and a second Body Slam knocks it out. All that's left is the last Gengar. I go for Seismic Toss. It's a 3-hit KO, it does confuse me. I don't hit myself, another Seismic Toss, and we hit one more time to get the win. So, second try victory against Agatha, that's pretty good. And next up we have Lance, who would really be a pushover if we could just learn Rock Slide to take care of Gyarados and Dragonite, but we still at least have Ice Punch for the Dragonairs, Dragonite, and Aerodactyl. And I'm really hoping this doesn't turn into one of those situations where we really hope for a Hydro Pump miss on turn 1 or paralyze it with Body Slam. But with Gyarados, you never know. It's a brick wall for fire Pokemon, and with an abysmal special stat like Hitmonchan's, I expect it to be a brick wall for it too. Anyway, to the battle. Gyarados is the lead. Body Slam does just under half, and Hydro Pump hits, crits, and knocks me out. Great. A few tries later, couple losses to Lorelei and Agatha later, and we make it back to Lance. And I had some of the best luck in this battle right here. Our first Body Slam paralyzes Gyarados, and it's fully paralyzed. While our second doesn't knock it out, it's fully paralyzed again, and we knock it out with Body Slam. The next two Dragonairs are layups. They're only going to spam Agility because it's a Psychic type move. And Lance's AI says Psychic type, Fighting type, super effective. Luckily on the first Dragonair, we got a Lucky Freeze. And as for the second, while we don't get a Lucky Freeze, it just spams Agility, so we can go ahead and knock it out with a second Ice Punch. But Aerodactyl is a bit of a worry because it can crit often. It hits me with Takedown, it gets a pretty big crit that takes half my health, Ice Punch nearly KOs it with a crit itself, and we freeze Aerodactyl. Lance delays the inevitable by using a Hyper Potion, but we can just use Ice Punch to knock it out. And after 3 Ice Punches, we take it down. Well, actually I used Seismic Toss for the last attack, but last is Dragonite, and it's 4 times weak to Ice Punch, and we freeze it also. 3 freezes and a paralyze in this battle. Talk about the ultimate luck. Now, can Hitmonchan carry the momentum into the champion battle, and can we finally finish this awful run? Or are we gonna get brickwalled again? Well, you'll just have to watch the battle and find out. He leads with Pidgeot, and we're gonna go ahead and open up with Body Slam, which gets a massive crit, nearly knocking out Pidgeot. It retaliates with Wing Attack, and we knock it out on the next turn. Next is Alakazam, who could be a worry, which I'll explain later, but we one-shot it with Body Slam. Against Rhydon, normally I would set up, but we don't have Agility anymore, and I get a freeze with Ice Punch. So I decide to save some PP with Ice Punch because you never know, and I knock it out with 2 Seismic Toss. But we level after Rhydon, so setting up against it really would have been for nothing. Body Slam on Gyarados, almost half. It retaliates with Dragon Rage, another Body Slam, another Dragon Rage, and I'm down to 51 HP after I knock it out. Next is Arcanine. Body Slam does almost half. It retaliates with Ember, another Body Slam, and we paralyze it. It hits Leer, and we knock it out. We need Venusaur to be fully paralyzed. We paralyze it, but it hits Mega Drain. And this was the closest I came to winning for a while. And it sucked. And I mentioned previously that Alakazam could be a problem in this battle. And I learned that Body Slam is a range on it. As you just saw in one of the battles that just played by of the many losses I had, I didn't one-shot it, and Psybeam took me from full HP to 0 HP. And yeah, this was pretty miserable. I tried a lot of things. I even tried mimicking Reflect from Alakazam and hoping that it wouldn't attack me, and while it did happen sometimes, it wasn't a surefire thing. And I thought to myself, maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of Agility. Maybe I should have kept it for badge boosting purposes. It might have come in handy. And then, as I kept losing over and over again, I got an idea. What if I don't use Mimic for Agatha and delete Seismic Toss for it afterwards? Well, I finally had a run where the stars aligned and I made it to the champion doing just that. I start out by Ice Punching Pidgeot because I want a Lucky Freeze on it, and it hits a massive Wing Attack that crits. My second Ice Punch nearly knocks it out, and it goes for Sky Attack, so we can knock it out freely. Alright, this is where I need the luck. I need to freeze Alakazam with this Ice Punch. Look how little damage that did, but we did freeze it. I guess that goes to show you when the opposing Pokemon special is 100 points higher than your base special. Anyway, I mimic Recover. I know earlier I said Reflect, but I meant Recover, so I do just that. We heal up, and then we're free to knock it out. Next is Rhydon, and we're just going to use Ice Punch to take it out. I would set up on it, but I know we're going to level right after it. It does hit me with a Fury attack, it only hits twice and doesn't do much damage. Get the hell out of here, Rhydon. We can level up, and we can move on to Gyarados. Alright, Body Slam on Gyarados. Does over half, it misses Hydro Pump, perfect. We can knock it out the next turn. Alright, Legendary Doggo Arcanine. Body Slam does about a quarter, maybe a third. Ember hits, doesn't do too much. Another Body Slam, and it goes for Leer, perfect, badge boosts me. Gonna go ahead and use Recover just to heal up, and another Ember. Alright, let's go ahead and knock out Arcanine with another Body Slam. And 135 HP for Venusaur, best position we've been in the whole run. Body Slam does half, and we paralyze it. Mega Drain doesn't do too much damage, and it can't heal up quite enough. It's fully paralyzed. We knock it out, we win, and this awful, atrocious run is finally over. And the high hopes I had for Hitmonchan finishing with a 5 hour, 30 minutes time, maybe even close to 6 hours, shattered very early. We finish at level 68 with a final time of 7 hours and 31 minutes. Now, a lot of this I also played very awfully, but when we come to ranking Hitmonchan, we have to put it in that bottom tier with Sneasel and Raichu. And honestly, at the end of this video, I wanted to throw in a bonus run where I gave Hitmonchan egg moves. Like, you can teach it high jump kick, breeding it with a Hitmonlee. Don't know how you do that, but you could also trade it over from Gold and Silver after you do that, and have it start with the elemental punches, but again, I might just save that for another video. If you're interested in seeing an egg move run with Hitmonchan or even other Pokemon, let me know in the comments. We got Hitmonlee and Hitmontop coming later this month, and those should be fun. Definitely should be a lot better than Hitmonchan. And until next time, see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.